Hi everyone, good afternoon, welcome to my craft room. Today I thought I would show you how to use the blends colouring in this image from Ornate Style. Now sadly, Ornate Style is a stamp set that is retiring on May the 3rd and it hasn't been reduced, but it is a lovely stamp set to have on hand if you just want to do a bit of colouring. I'm going to be using the blends today. My greeting comes from the Ornate Thanks stamp set, which you'll be glad to hear is actually staying in the new annual catalogue from May the 4th. And these Ornate Layers dies are also going to be staying in the new annual catalogue, and they're really lovely. I have actually used, though, on this one, the rectangle stitch dies. So I've got my piece of sourdough bread here, which I made today. Just going to take a little bite of it. I hope you've got a cup of tea or coffee. I have got a Kenco, I think it is unsweetened coffee cappuccino in a sachet. So take a good gulp of that and a little munch of sourdough bread. Can you hear that crunch? Got some honey on it. Oh, it's fresh sourdough bread. Has cooled down. Out of the oven is absolutely delicious. So, excuse me chewing just at the start of this video. Here's the stamp. It's a cling rubber stamp. It's really fabulous. So I've got a stitched white, basic white rectangle here. Just going to put the stamp down like that, and I've got my Stamparatus out. I like using the Stamparatus for many things, but particularly when I'm doing a large image that I want to colour in. I want to make sure that it's stamped out properly. So however much you ink it when it's on an acrylic block, when you come to do something like this, inevitably you find that there's a little bit that you wished you'd had more ink. So let's see what this looks like. Oh, amazing. I think that looks really good. So I'm just going to clean off my stamp and just put the Stamparatus away. And I'll put that stamp set away because that was just to hold that in place. And here we go. So I'm going to be putting it on a stitched stitched rectangle, which has been cut out of Calypso Coral cardstock, and it's going to go on like that. And this is a mint macaron card base. Very simple card. I could have left it. I've just actually done one this afternoon and sent it off to somebody with just a note, and I didn't even put a sentiment on it. But I'm hoping that I'll be able to fit this thanks somewhere, and if not, you know what, I'll just leave it. You could just put it across there, but I might in the end just leave it without a sentiment, because sometimes it's really nice to have note cards on hand to just be able to send to people. So I'm going to put that there, put these to one side for a minute, and I'm going to demonstrate the blends. So these two flowers here are going to be Calypso Coral. So I'm going to start off with the light. This is the way that I like to do colouring with blends. So I do the light and just go all the way. I use the large one first of all to get the general cover, because it's much quicker to colour with the larger one. And then I use the smaller tip. I should have clarified that, just to get to the outside. Now it's quite good sometimes when you're using blends to leave a little bit of white pieces just glimmering through. It just sort of makes it a bit more interesting. I've heard other demonstrators do that. It's not just an excuse for me missing pieces. It actually does make it look nicer sometimes in the end. We'll see what you think. You can always tell me in the comments if you like to afterwards. So I absolutely love the blends because, and particularly an image like this, let me just see if I've got it. Yeah, I've got it on camera. So I haven't done a video like this actually of the blends, I don't think. So then I take the darker one and the artist has actually done a lot of the work for me, because where you see the lines is where you put the darker colour. So our blends come in combo packs now, and they're £8.50 for a pack of 2, which is it's good to have the contrast, because one of the main fun things about blends is that obviously that's why they're called blends. They blend so nicely together. So I'm just going over the dark patches with the dark Calypso Coral. You can blend 2 different shades of colour in together actually. I might do a video on that sometime, because that's quite fun too. And it's lovely to see you can get a different colour sometimes in between, like if you mixed yellow and blue you might get a sort of green. So you can actually see that you can see it stands out a bit at the moment. So when I go over with the lighter colour again, it pulls it in a bit, and so it looks more interesting. And I'm just going to leave some places where I haven't, where it's just got some white space still. So that's the Calypso Coral flower. Just gonna, and then I might want to go over again with the dark just to give a little bit more dark. But you can see the shading there quite nicely. So just come in with the dark again. So I went to our lovely local wool shop in Morton today and bought some wool to make a baby blanket, and lovely colours, silver and a light green and white, so it could be for a boy or a girl. Black Sheep Wools have got a blanket knit along at the moment, and I rather liked some of the squares that they had, so I thought I would like to support my local wool shop, which is Terry's Yarn Shop in Morton, and really enjoyed it actually. It's lovely. You're not allowed to go into the shop, but you can stand outside, and Terry was great. She got me the wool and I managed to choose the colours I wanted. And of course, while I was there, I asked about sock yarn because I'm not knitting a pair of socks at the moment, and I ended up buying 2 balls of merino sock yarn. Absolutely fabulous. 75% merino with some obviously acrylic nylon in as well, because for socks you need that for strength. So this is mint macaron blends, and I look forward to knitting them. It'd be great fun. Now I'm wondering if there should be a little bit behind here. Yeah, I think that should be a little bit of green just behind there. So I should put some dark mint macaron now, and then I will be bringing the light over again to blend the two together. So you can see how easy this is. I like the smell of them as well. That sounds awful, doesn't it? I'm not into glue sniffing and stuff like that, but I do like the smell of the blends. And then I just put a little bit of the lighter around the edge to just soften the edge a bit. So then I'm going to put some darker on here. And then I'm going to colour. Hi Jenny, good to see you. I'm demonstrating the blends. So sadly this stamp set is going to be retiring. Ornate thanks, but it's a really lovely stamp set if you've got blends pens to just pull out. And I did a note card with it this afternoon for somebody. I've posted that already, so I can't show you that, but I'll post a photo on the group. And I just thought, you know what, I might as well just demonstrate using blends. So I'm just actually showing the blending bit at the moment. So this is the light one to pull out, and you can see it's just pulling out, and then you've got the slight shading on the leaves, which is I really like that colour. So I'll put those away, and now I'm going to do this flower here. So it's a daisy, and I'm going to do dark. So this time I'm going to do it slightly differently. I'm going to do the darker like this from the middle, and then I'm going to use the lighter on top. So there's the darker, and then I'm going to take the lighter. Yep. Oh gosh, this is Mango Melody. I meant to use Daffodil Delight. I'm going to get the light Daffodil Delight. The dark Daffodil Delight and the light Mango Melody are very similar, which is probably why they're sadly retiring the Mango Melody combo, which is actually a fabulous combo. Love it, and it does go very well with Daffodil Delight. So, but the dark Mango Melody is very similar to the dark Daffodil Delight. So do not fear, if you have dark Daffodil Delight, that will kind of do the trick really. So there we go. There's that one. And then, oh, I've just realised I've left a little bit of leaf out here. So I'm just going to do that in the pale green. And then go over. Now you're probably wondering, what on earth colour is she going to do those small flowers with? I'm going to do them in Pool Party. Or I could use Balmy Blue, I suppose, but I think I'll probably use Pool Party. So there we go, that's that one. And then I'll just get out my Pool Party blends. Put these one to one side. It is so easy, Jenny. Honestly, anybody can do this. Colouring with blends is really easy, particularly if you just stamp and then just colour. Now, I'm wondering, I think I might just put a little bit of light, is that light Daffodil Delight? Light Daffodil Delight in the centre of these flowers. because yellow does go really nicely with blue. This is so relaxing. I so enjoyed doing this earlier this afternoon, doing a card for somebody. It is easy, honestly. Oh, don't put that sign up, Jenny. You can do this just as easily as me. You've got some blends. You just need to pick out a stamp set with largish flowers on, and that gives you the chance to do the blending. Just going to have a sip of my coffee. I hope you've got a coffee, Jenny. It's frothy on the top as well. Kenko cappuccino. It comes in sachets. Really, really good. So I'm going to do the top ones in a moment, but I'm just going to take the dark. Honestly, it is easy, Jenny. Anybody can do this. So it's just practice. The thing is, we all need to practice using our tools and things. So you just go over, do you see the lines that I'm going over with the darker Pool Party? And in the moment, I'm going to go over with the lighter Pool Party just to blend it in. Here we go. And then that'll just blend it in nicely so that you can't see the lines. So you can colour with Stampin' Write markers, but it's not the same. The blends really do blend in the different shades, and it's a different sort of colouring experience, you could say, I suppose. That's one way of putting it. So there we go. So I'm just going to do these ones here. And I'm nearly done. That was what, 5 minutes or something incredible? I think my pale Pool Party, my light Pool Party is running out a little bit, but anyway, we'll see. So here we go. There we go. And then this one, you can see the definition in colour. So I think that's okay. I'm just going to, just waiting for my cuppa. Oh, I bet Ron's getting you a cuppa. He's amazing. This time in the afternoon, I usually have to get my own cuppa. I've been buying wool this afternoon, Jenny, by the way. I've bought some to do a baby blanket in neutral colours. So there we go. That's how our card's going to be. So I'm going to, I could have put the mint macaron card base through my cut and emboss machine with an embossing folder. But do you know what? Saying that, I think I will. So I'm just going to get the Ornate Garden, I think it's called, embossing folder, which is really nice. I can quickly find it. Here it is. So this is the embossing folder that I'm going to use. It's called Ornate Floral 3D Embossing Folder. So I think that I will just run this through because I think it will look nice to run it through. There we go. Take that off. There we go. There it is, nicely embossed. It's a really lovely, and this one is actually carrying over into the new catalogue, I'm very glad to say, because it's really pretty. And it's what we call a non-directional embossing folder. So, it doesn't matter which way you put it through, it still comes out looking lovely. So that's my stitched rectangle Calypso Coral base. Now I think that I will actually put this on dimensionals because I think that it will make it look a little bit more interesting. So let me see, I've got my mini dimensionals here, which are probably the most economic to use because I can just put one like this, if you can see that, where I'm putting my dimensionals, and it does make a difference sometimes. Adding the height to the card just gives a bit of variety, which takes it from simple and perhaps a little bit dull to being a bit more eye-catching, I think. And the other thing, obviously, to make it eye-catching is to add some embellishments of some sort. So see what we can find. So that's the card. Now, where have I put my thanks? That's the thanks, but I don't know if I want to put it on. I could put it there, I suppose, if I wanted to. Might be all right, just sort of there. Up there is a possibility. That seems a shame because it seems to cut out some of the flower. That's a bit boring. I think that's more interesting. So what I'm going to do, I cut this out with one of the stitched rectangles as well. I'm going to put 3 mini dimensionals along the bottom. This is a trick I've been using quite a lot lately actually. It's when you want some of the sentiment to be on the raised area and some of it to be on the lower cardstock. This is what you do. I've put mini dimensionals along the bottom and then I put Tombow along the top. And then I can stick it just like that so that I'm not covering too much, and then it's held up with those there. Just a little bit different, a little bit unusual, and if you want to put your sentiment half on the raised area and half on the lower cardstock, that's the way that you do it. So let's get out some embellishments. What have I got? These are all my embellishments that are current in this catalogue. Ooh, champagne rhinestone jewels, or... Oh, I know the ones that go with this suite are these gilded gems, which are carrying over. But I think these look rather nice. These are called Gold Glitter Enamel Dots, and I rather like them. So I'm going to use these, I think. So let's see if I just pick one up from there. Put that up there, and then I want a smaller one, I think. Got some spare here. So one there, and then possibly a smaller one still there. That just kind of makes the difference really when you put a few gems on a card. And the other thing that will make a difference is if I put on a bit of Winker's Stella, will just catch the eye with that bit of bling. What have we got here? Sue York, get your confidence, Jenny. Quite right, Sue. You tell her. Quality card making. I can't read the rest of it, but I'll read it afterwards. But thanks, Sue, for your encouragement. It's fun playing with. These are our blends. Obviously, you can. Some people might have pro markers, but I tell you, I have really enjoyed doing some colouring this afternoon. So if you want this stamp set, you'll have to get it before May the 3rd. Because it's retiring, sadly, but it really is a lovely. The other thing I could have done is actually I could have stamped it again and cut out some of the flowers and had them 3D. But that's a really simple, if I just put my camera up a bit, that's a really simple thank you card. You can see it hopefully glittering a little bit in the light. And you can see the gems, and then it's just a simple thank you card. And then I just write a note inside. So there we go. Thanks for watching with me today. Bye.